All right, guys, so I scoured the interweb to find the best stats.
Did you go to the dark web? Did you go to the dark web?
I went to the dark web. I went to the light web. I went to the left web, the right web. I went to all the webs to find some of the stats that truly indicate how special and unique this matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday night truly is. So I have 9. I have a bonus one at the end to making it even 10.
Okay.
And we're going to go through one at a time and just react to each stat a little bit. And feel free to ask questions. I'll try to give as much context as I can. But let's start with the first.
Remember, before you do the first, what's particularly cool about this matchup is both teams are going to have the same amount of rest because both teams played on Sunday. Both teams are healthy. This is very exciting that, there's been so many disappointments of Kyrie not playing. I said he was jaking it. Now he's got an injury. Whatever. But looks like both teams fully intact, fully rested, leads to this great information. Okay,
well, not 100%, right? Because Chet Holmgren's still out for the Thunder, and he is their third best player. But he's been hurt. He hasn't played since
he's been gone for
the
a long
second
time.
week of the season. We're not 100% sure if Isaac Okoro's suit up, and same with Alex Caruso. They've missed the last couple of games. But for the most part, both teams are healthy and fully rested.
Alex Caruso,
and let's get into it.
It is amazing that the Thunder have played this well without their third best player.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
It is.
But go ahead.
All right, so this is, speaking of the number 3, this is just the third time in the history of the NBA that two teams have started a season with 30 or more wins in its first 35 games. The Cavs are obviously a league best 31-4. The Thunder 1 game behind at 30-5. The NBA's been around for a long, long time. Just the third time ever that we have seen two teams with this much success early on.
That is amazing. I'm surprised it's even the third time that it's happened. Was it like Celtics-Lakers in the 80s maybe?
Yeah, it's first time in a long time.
Okay.
Long time. He was like, yeah, that's like.
And maybe in the 60s there was time Celtics-Lakers also. Who knows?
Celtics-Lakers.
What's interesting is the Cavs, for whatever it's worth, it's early in the season, the Cavs have had control of home court advantage throughout the playoffs, including the finals, pretty much every day this season, outside of maybe the first week or whatever. But if the Thunder win this game, the Thunder, at least for a day or two, will have home court if they played each other because they'd have the same record and the Thunder would have beaten them.
This is messed up. And, I was trying to get all worked up about the game, but it's something about it as we go through this show. Something about this being a Western Conference foe, which kind of makes me a little difficult to, really put too much stock in it.
Why?
Because
you won't see them until the championship?
That's like being like, man, I'm in first grade. I can't wait till I'm in fifth grade. Well, you done skip second, third, fourth grade. That's a long time before we see the Thunder. And even if we see them, I mean, that's a whole nother can of worms. The playoff basketball would be different. I think I get up more for the Celtics games, for the guys in the conference, because I know that I got to get what I got to get through to even get over there.
I get what you're saying. To me, this is I've been looking for a measuring stick for a while because obviously the Cavs have played the Nuggets. But lately, when they've played some of the other good teams, they've been missing stars.
So you like, because you're not a diehard basketball fan. It's like, all right, well, I need to see the what you do against the big boys,
right?
You know what I'm
and
saying?
ultimately,
and so that's I get why you feel that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And ultimately, as you said before, this is the regular season. Even if they sweep the Thunder, because they're playing them this today or Wednesday and then next Thursday. Even if they sweep them, that doesn't mean they could go play them in the finals and lose in 5. Just because they beat them doesn't mean they're going to beat them in the playoffs. But at least for now, I want to see how they stack up against the other best team in the league.
Well, I mean, the reason that I'm interested in it, isn't the Thunder like 1 or 2 in defense and the Cavs 1 or 2 in offense?
They are both number 1 respective. We're going to get to all those. I promise you, we got those numbers
coming.
covered.
Go ahead. We just poured water all over McNuggets.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, we're getting this next one.
Yeah.
The 30 wins in 35 games is great, right?
Yeah.
But how about this? The Cavs and Thunder have a combined average win percentage this season of 87.871. That's the second highest average combined win percentage of any regular season matchup in the history of the NBA, behind only
Well,
Golden
that's got to
State
be
Warriors.
after a certain amount of games.
Yeah, after the quarter of the season mark. And
okay.
Yeah. So this is with this big enough sample size, but obviously a 1-1 or 1-0 versus 1-0.
Yeah, right.
Eliminate that. The only one that had a higher win percentage combined between two teams was the 40-4 Golden State Warriors against the 38-6 San Antonio Spurs back in that 2016 season when Golden State set the wins record. This is the second highest average combined win percentage ever in the history of the league.
I didn't remember. I know Jason just said yesterday that like everybody thought it was going to be the Spurs playing the Cavs for the finals before we knew how good Golden State was. But I didn't remember the year they won 72 that the Spurs were that good. I don't, for whatever reason.
Wasn't that the year
the
that
Spurs won 67 games that year?
I didn't even remember that.
They won 67 and were 6 games out of the 1 seed.
And, wasn't that the game where Kawhi Leonard turned his ankle?
No, that was a playoff game. That was a playoff
I
game.
mean, was that the same year?
Yeah.
That was the Zaza
yes.
game, and no, that was the year before.
Oh, okay.
That was I believe that was or maybe it wasn't. Hold on. I'm getting my years confused.
Because I remember people freaking out like they would have lost if Kawhi was playing.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think if it was that year. You know, the Spurs be having these weird years where like it just jumbles together.
Well, they're finally getting back to the playoffs this year, probably.
Yeah, Wemby's that deal. I had seen this stat that came out that
it was that year. You were correct. It was the 2017 playoffs.
he had like more threes at this point than Steph and more blocks than Shaq, and it was crazy. I was like, wow, this dude different.
Mike, would you trade if you're in theory if you were starting from scratch the NBA?
Wemby's the first pick. It's not
right,
close.
even ahead of Jokic because of the age difference.
Not
right,
close. Wemby's
forget the contract.
You sprint to the podium and take Wemby.
What's the age difference between him and Jokic?
I think a decade.
Yeah.
Wemby's not 21.
Yeah, you would take him over any player.
It's not close.
What's he averaging right now?
First of all, it is close. You need to cut it out. Because you ain't going to act like it ain't a dude in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he might be like
Wemby
56.
this year is averaging 26 points per game, 9th in the league.
Yeah.
11 rebounds, 8th in the league. He's averaging 4 assists, which is 61st in the league. And blocks, he is averaging 3.7 blocks, which is first in the league. Or 4 blocks.
What's his 3-point percentage? Because he been clipping them things.
He's shooting 36% on 9 attempts per game.
By the way, when are we talking about Caitlin Clark versus Bronny in a
We can do that later, but that was absurd. That
Crazy.
All right, these nenext 2 stats go hand in hand. We're going to go back to back with these.
Yeah.
We talked about the incredible records. The Cavs are 10-0 against the Western Conference this season. OKC 11-0 against the Eastern Conference this season. And a little nuance to the incredible records. When Dean Wade plays, the Cavs are 25-1. When Isaiah Hartenstein plays for the Thunder, they are 19-1. They are both expected to play on Wednesday.
Something got to give.
One of them is going to suffer their second loss of
That's
the
the
season.
RWS, the random white guy stat.
Isaiah Hartenstein, not white.
Oh, he's mixed, right?
Yeah.
Yes, his father's black.
That's fishy. I don't know if I'm buying that.
I tell you, that's how Cassius Marsh was in the NFL with me.
They should basically choose race by what happens when you get pulled over by a cop.
That's funny. That's funny.
Like basically, that's the telltale sign. If you can fool them, you're in there. Don't hate me in the chat. That was funny. Don't get mad.
That was funny.
It was
That was
pretty
good, G.
funny.
I can't even. All right.
Yeah.
That's the records. Now let's
that's
dive into
kinda
some
random,
of the
but all right.
X's and 25-1 and 19-1 are not small sample sizes.
No,
That
but
is-
because both teams' records are so good, I don't buy the legitimacy of those. No
just
offense.
saying. All right, next up. This is to Tyvis' point about clash of styles. Elite offense versus elite defense.
Yeah.
The Cavs this season have an offensive rating of 121.3. That's the second highest in the history of the NBA, behind only the Boston Celtics last season. The Thunder have a defensive rating of 102.7 this season. That is the 4th lowest in the NBA since the turn of the century, dating all the way back to the year 2000. So in the last 25 seasons, that is the 4th lowest defensive rating we have seen, and the Cavs have the second highest offensive rating in the history of the league.
This is incredible.
It's lining up to be a
Like-
dandy, huh?
I'm telling you, my
That's
goodness.
crazy. And it's not like the Cavs are bad on defense or the Thunder are bad on offense.
They're both top 10 on the opposite
Yeah,
spectrum.
right.
All right, so now that's
Yeah.
big picture. You could say, oh, they beat up on bad teams, whatever. That's not the case. The Thunder have the number 1 defense against top 10 offenses this season, holding their opponents to an offensive rating, the top 10 teams, these are the top 10, to an offensive rating of 108.2, which is 3.5 better than the Houston in second place. The Cavs have the number 1 offense against top 10 rated defenses this season with an offensive rating of 121.8, which is 5 points better than the Knicks in second. So not just hey, we're clamping up bad teams and we are scoring at will against bad teams. The Cavs are scoring against even good defenses, and the Thunder are shutting down some of the best offenses in basketball.
Yeah, now does that factor in if a superstar doesn't play?
No,
Probably doesn't.
If a team's in the top 10, I was going, like, currently top 10.
Right, so if the superstar didn't play in that game, that could skew those stats a little, but what are you going to do?
You could also look at the game against Boston that Oklahoma City played on Sunday, where they held Boston with Tatum and Brown to 27 points in the second half.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
This is about to be.
I don't.
But the fact that this is on FanDuel TV.
No, this is nationally.
ESPN?
Nationally
It
televised
is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Both of the Thunder Cavs
yes, tomorrow,
games.
right?
Yeah, tomorrow's game's on ESPN, and the next Thursday in Oklahoma City's on TNT.
I swear somebody told me yesterday it was on
It might be on
FanDuel.
both. Is it on both? I mean,
No,
I'm watching it.
It's on ESPN.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah,
this may sound messed up.
I got to cancel my plans.
It may sound crazy, but
You ain't worried about it?
I'm not worried about the Thunder like that, man.
It's not about worried.
Like I feel like
if the Cavs score, what they averaging like what 125 a game?
No, offensive rating is not your point per game average. You're averaging about 115 per 114 per game.
McNuggets, am I tripping? Like when I look at the Thunder.
You better be careful.
No, Mike, the Cavs can't be averaging 140. They got to be averaging more than that.
Oh, 122, sorry.
Yeah, it's a big
I was
difference.
about to say.
I was thinking when you said they've
Yeah,
only scored less than
right,
140.
yeah.
They're averaging 122.5, which is the second highest
first of all,
offensive points per game. in the
you
league.
got-
Before you say this,
Yeah, I'm about to say this.
listen,
I'm about to get this off.
SGA arguably is top 3 in the NBA. Go ahead.
Speaking of SGA,
Go ahead.
man. I don't know, bro. Like he don't scare me neither.
Man, you better stop.
So you better watch your work.
You better
Look,
stop.
I'm just keeping it a buck, man.
You being disrespectful.
Nah,
right?
But
Listen,
I haven't seen Oklahoma City play that much. Have you?
You need to stop.
bro, I be seeing.
I got an SGA stat coming
Bro,
up.
you need to cut this out.
I see SGA play, bro, and it's just like, okay.
Now listen, last year he was just a mid-range assassin. This year he got
Okay.
that tray on him
Oh,
too.
well, he fool y'all. Now because he's shooting threes, it's like, oh, SG. Before he was mid-range king. Before he was doing that. And my thing is, if SGA get you 35,
he gonna get you 31 at the minimum.
okay, he get 35. Who else?
I mean, they must have other guys scoring. They're winning every
just saying.
game.
No, but I'm just saying. I get what
SGA and Jalen Williams.
I'm about to say
are the-
Jalen Williams.
they not better. To me, I look at the roster for roster. I'm like, all right, I got Mobley. I got Allen.
You know they just beat Boston, right?
I don't care about that.
And
What
the
you
Knicks
mean you
back
don't
to back.
care about
I
that?
don't care about that.
They beat Boston and the Knicks back to back on the road.
You know Boston had Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown,
care about
Derek
that.
White, Porzingis.
Here's the thing about Boston. Boston get happy shooting them threes. Boston can get got any given day because they shoot a lot of
They
threes.
didn't get got last year.
Well, listen, I'm just telling you. My thing is this, man. I look at the Cavs roster from top to bottom. I look at the bench. I like the
hear what
Cavs.
you-
The
I hear
Cavs
what
bench
you
is better.
saying.
You got
Is the
Donovan
Cavs
Mitchell.
bench better though? Like you. I know I don't. I can't even name most of the guys on the Thunder bench. I bet you Thunder fans can't name the guys on the Cavs bench. They might think our bench is nothing.
Is Dort start? Does Dort start?
Hey,
Dort starts, and
Lockdown.
once again, I'm not telling you who I'm picking yet.
Lockdown.
But if you go back and look at Donovan Mitchell's historical profile against the Thunder, and really against any individual defender, he has some of his worst performances have come in the torture chamber.
Hey, listen.
The Dorcher chamber.
We're not gonna give
Yeah.
him no nicknames.
That's his nickname. It's
What's
not me
wrong
giving
with
it.
you?
No. Who
That
gave
man
that?
that man is Strap City. What's
Bro,
wrong with you?
Bro, stop playing with
Jeez,
me, man.
disrespecting
He
the
is.
Thunder.
I don't feel the
He
Thunder
really
that, bro.
is.
I don't feel. I just don't listen.
Cause they don't got the big names. That's why you acting like that.
No, I look at
They best quality is they defense.
No, I feel that's great, but I feel like when you talk about this is offense versus defense, this the new NBA. That offense is gonna win, bro. You can't lock everybody down.
They did against Boston.
Dude, right now there's a guy in Oklahoma City doing a show like this. His name is G. Billy Bob. And he is disrespecting the Cavs the same way. And if RG would hear it, he'd get mad.
Nah, Williams is
outta-
okay.
you outta
I like
line.
Williams.
Well, let's get
I
to the
like
rest of the
him.
stats, and then because we're going to dive into some SGA stuff, we're going to get into some other concerns, and it's all valid. The Cavs are favored in the game for a reason. Let's just make that clear. The Cavs are 2.5-point favorites.
Nice.
Well, no, the reason is they're at home, no? Otherwise, it's a pick'em. Wouldn't it be a pick'em under
Well, they're at home. So
How
I'm
many
not
points
saying-
is home court worth in the NBA? I don't even know.
To be honest with you, I have no clue.
It can't. I mean, it's got to be at least 2, wouldn't it?
Listen,
Now,
the Cavs have an incredible chance to win this game.
Of course they
Yeah.
do. Nobody's saying the Cavs.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like they're in a good spot. All right,
show.
next stat here. We got 4 more. The first one: the Cavs enter Wednesday night's matchup on a 10-game win streak. The Thunder are on a 15-game win streak, even though they lost to the Bucks in the NBA Cup championship.
Oh, that
does
doesn't-
not count as a regular game.
Okay, that's stupid.
So technically speaking,
That doesn't.
Technically
I'm
speaking,
annoyed
well,
with for that, Mike. Because last night
it's by the records.
on my podcast, I was looking at the Thunder record, and I was like, Mike said they won 15 in a row. It's only been 10. What do you mean that doesn't count?
It doesn't count. The stats don't count. It doesn't count against the record.
It doesn't count in the standings?
Not the standings. The stats don't count. That game did not exist.
Hey, we
other than the NBA Cup.
count
That's
that
stupid.
as we count that as an L.
That's dumb. That
That's
they
an L.
even, I wouldn't even waste my time.
That's
I'd
an L right
lose.
there.
I'd flame out on
Why
purpose.
did they put it on the schedule? Then they should have listed on the schedule. It
That's
doesn't
the-
count.
it's
Or it
the
should say
NBA Cup.
exhibition or
I'd
something.
flame out on
It's the
purpose.
cup.
That's annoying.
But if you combine the 2 win streaks,
Yeah.
even though if you want to say the Thunder really lost,
It's still 15
valid.
out of 16.
15 to 16, and the combined 25-game win streak is the longest ever for an NBA game in January. And on that 15-game win streak, Steve, you can take this one. Only 4 guards in NBA history have ever averaged 30 points per game during a 15-game win streak. Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, James Harden, and currently SGA.
Wow.
The first 3 all won MVP their season. SGA is currently the Vegas favorite to win MVP. And this season, SGA is averaging 31 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Only 2 other players in the history of the league have ever averaged 31, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists in a season.
MJ.
Michael Jordan and Dwayne Wade the year they won the championship before LeBron came over. That was the 2007, 2008 season.
What was his average last year? Because he hit about the
SGA?
same stat every game. He was hitting
SGA
the
last
same
year was
stat.
30, 5 and 6. This year he's 31, 5 and 6.
Excuse me.
And that 1 point difference cuts down the list from 6 guys who have ever done it
Yeah.
to now just 2, and SGA
Wow.
could do it this year.
That's impressive, man. And he wasn't a big name coming out of college, right?
It was a 13th pick or 9th pick, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty
11th
impressive.
pick.
They
excuse me.
traded.
11th pick.
Didn't he? Was he with the Clippers?
Yeah, he was drafted by the Clippers. He was the only player in the Paul George trade. It was SGA and 5 first-round picks for Paul George, and it turns out that SGA is just a better player than Paul George by himself.
Wow. And they got those first-round picks, which included Chet Holmgren, right?
Correct.
Oh, my God. The Clippers got destroyed.
How many first rounds they still get?
They have 12 first-round picks in the next 5 years.
Oh, my God. No, they don't.
Swear to God.
12?
Yeah, they have 4 this year.
Good night. They got 4 first round picks.
This year, yes. Sam Presti, Thunder GM, Emerson basketball alum.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Emerson.
god.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Come on.
That's
man. Here's another thing.
That's
too.
ridiculous.
Here, see, again.
They fleece.
No,
They fleece the Clippers for this.
Again.
My God.
This is why people be so knee jerk. They're more
Yeah.
than me now.
Yeah.
Now listen,
Whoa.
is this the same Sam Presti that didn't get James Harden resign?
Correct.
That is the same
For-
Sam.
what
Is it the same?
Was it in
the
a
same-
couple million?
Is it just? Wasn't it the same Sam Presti that had 3 MVPs on one team and a Defensive Player of the Year in Serge Ibaka on the one squad
So
and didn't
did-
win not one championship?
They lost to to
Yeah.
the Lakers in the first round, and then
Is
they
that
ended
his
up.
fault?
Serge did not win Defensive Player of the Year.
By the way, who's more
Caliber.
likely to win a championship in their career as of today? Sam Presti or James Harden?
Sam Presti.
Well, here's all I'm saying. They got all these picks. That's great.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you got to do something with him.
James Harden's out there looking like he ate me.
No, he looks great this year. He's going to be an
I don't
all-star.
know what I'm talking about.
He's having a great season.
He's
My
not
thing-
fat anymore?
No,
And all
No,
jokes,
he's
he
playing
got rid
perfect
of the
this
fat
Shows you
suit.
how much I've
all
paid
jokes aside,
attention to him.
I'm not going to hate on the Thunder. All jokes aside, you know,
Yeah.
it's a little tongue in cheek.
It's an exciting game.
It's a
no matter
exciting
how
game.
good you think they are, they're
Right.
good.
You just
I
your,
wanna-
your
I'm-
confidence is high because
That's
of the Cavs.
fine.
That's
I
what
think
it is.
I'm expecting
I'm with
the Cavs
you.
to win too.
Yeah, I expect the Cavs
But I'm
to win.
expecting a great game, and I want to see it.
But here's the thing: when I look at the Thunder, I was disappointed last year, McNuggets. You got smoked. You was the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Who they lose
You
to
got
in the
you got
playoffs?
you got smoked by the Mavs.
Well, and that's why
Did they get smoked?
in the semis, didn't even make it to the West.
What
was the-
why
what
it's
was
so
the
No,
series?
they made the didn't they make the Western Conference Finals?
No,
they
Or was it the
didn't.
second?
Semis 4-2.
No,
Oh
it
no,
was
because it
second-
was
right,
the
second-
it was the
second round.
Wolves and
4-2.
Mavs,
Yeah,
right?
it was the
second
Wolves
round.
and Mavs.
Second round.
But you know what? that's what makes this maybe a budding rivalry. Maybe
They're both on the up and up.
It's interesting because I know that Thunder were higher seeded, but both of these teams were, somewhat out of nowhere last year. Slow development. They both lost in the second round. Now, more people expected the Thunder to win than the Cavs, but still, both have been amazing this year, but both got a lot to prove in the playoffs.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And they can say the same thing about us.
100%.
Like, y'all got smoked in the semis too.
Yeah.
Well, we had
by the way,
injuries.
Colin
And we
Sexton.
played the Celtics.
Colin Sexton was the 8th pick in the draft. That SGA went 11. So
We
that's a
could have
miss.
had him.
That's a miss.
Uh,
We got two more. Two more stats. for you
That
guys.
actually kind of hurt.
This is a stylistic thing to watch tomorrow. So Oklahoma City, we talked about them having the number 1 defense. The Cavs have the number 1 offense.
Yeah.
Something Oklahoma City does that is different than other teams is they try and get you to shoot corner threes. They are okay giving up the corner three. Oklahoma City allows the most corner threes of any team in the NBA this season, which you would think is the most profitable shot in the associations, best that you could get. However, the Cavs, despite their number 1 offensive rating, the most points per game in the Eastern Conference, are not a corner 3 team.
That is
they rank
bizarre.
28th in the league in quarter 3 percentage as a team at 34.3% on the 24th fewest attempts in the league.
Now, wait a second. Aren't the Cavs first in the league in 3-point percentage?
This is just from the corner.
Okay.
This is just the
but
corner.
no, I
Yes.
understand that.
Yes,
but-
they lead the NBA.
So they lead the NBA in threes.
And they're not great.
And
from
yet
the
they're
corner.
not good at the easiest three?
Correct.
That's crazy.
They're also, by the way,
Yeah.
they're currently shooting 40.3% as a team. If they can continue that for the rest of the season, they'll be the first team in the NBA since 2021 to finish a season as a team over 40% from 3.
Is anybody...
Was the Warriors the other team in 21?
No, it's the Clippers, actually.
Wow.
Really?
Is anybody on the Cavs shooting poorly from 3? I mean, I'm not like Strus, who's played 3 games or whatever, but like...
I'll give you right now, I'm pulling it up,
Yeah.
all their 3-point percentages.
Okay.
And this is incredible, seriously.
40, 50, 40.
Watch what you
Isaac
say.
Okoro,
Yeah.
49.2%.
That's insane.
50.
LeVert, 44.7%. Garland, 43.1%. Mobley, 41.8. Jerome, 41.6.
Sniper.
Mitchell, 41.3.
Lethal.
Niang, 38.6.
Assassin.
Dean Wade, 36.7.
Sniper.
And then the first guy who's disappointing in terms of what you expect
Yeah.
is Sam Merrill, who's at just 35%.
But that's going in anyway.
What's the average? Do you know roughly what's considered the line, the average?
38%.
So the only one below that is Merrill and
Wade's a half a percentage.
but he don't
point
take a
below.
lot of
But
threes
them
anyway.
is going in. Merrill's is going
That's
in.
crazy.
To give you comparison, and
Yeah.
I did this earlier, Steve, actually, I know you have to move graphics here, but go to Oklahoma shooters. It's a couple up. The Cavs have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, and I'm not including Dean Wade, shooting above what I believe is league average.
And nobody's terrible. Like, the worst is Sam Merrill. He's not terrible.
Now, look at Oklahoma City, who scores in a totally different way.
Yeah.
They have 2 guys, Lou Dort and Aaron Wiggins,
Yeah.
who shoot enough threes to qualify that are over that 37% line.
Don't do it.
Hey,
Very
don't do
different
it.
styles. It's
Do
a
not
completely
do
different
it.
style
Your
matchup
boy, Lou
tonight.
Dort.
Do
Man,
not do it.
I know 2 Wiggins.
Andrew?
And what's the boy for the corner?
Antoine.
Nate?
Hey, listen, get up out of here. They're a nice squad, but McNuggets just keeps backing it up.
I mean, they're 30-5.
Yeah, you tripping.
That was
You
crazy.
tripping. You tapping into your inner Biggie.
But here's the thing about this. This is why the Cavs, and McNuggets knows this,
Yeah.
great offense beats great defense. Because here's the thing, even if the Cavs on volume have a bad shooting night, that means they shot, 37%?
Yeah, I mean, that first game where they lost to the Celtics, they shot very poorly that night, didn't they? And lost. It was close.
Yeah, DG was 3 of 21. Bless
Right. And he ain't have, listen,
Yeah,
he not going to have one of
No,
them.
that's a once
That's
in a
this
year
a
game.
new Darius Garland. He don't got them.
Oh!
What you mean?
Oh! Oh, man.
I already apologized.
I know you did. It caught me off guard.
You listen.
It caught me off guard.
Listen, I told you I didn't know that girl. I was texting her, and I would apologize for that.
Text.
By the way, I got to go back to this stat one more time, Mike. This is crazy that the best shooting three-point team in the league
It's us. It's here.
stinks from the corner, which is the easiest three-point shot. That doesn't make any sense.
Boy, you think for $1 million you get two attempts from the corner?
No.
You think you hitting it?
No.
No. And I wouldn't even want to do it because I don't know how I could live with myself with missing a chance for $1 million. I mean, I would do it, but I don't.
Could put
McNuggets, you hitting it? Two
McNuggets
shots for $1 million from the
From
corner?
the corner? Yeah, give me one. I don't need two.
Wow.
That's way too tight.
Last stat real quick, and then we'll dive into some other things you could ask about. I don't have a graphic for this one, but we talk about net rating, the difference between your offensive rating and defensive rating.
Yeah.
The best net rating in the history of the NBA, the 95-96 Bulls, 13.4 is their net rating. The second best net rating in the history of the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder this year, 12.2. The third best net rating, history of the NBA, the 96-97 Bulls, 12 flat. The fourth best net rating in the history of the NBA, this year's Cavaliers team, 11.8. Two of the top four net ratings, which is one of my favorite big picture overall stats to look at to quantify how good a team is playing. Two of the top four, separated by 0.3, so right within the margins, are playing in Cleveland tomorrow night on national television.
That's pretty incredible. I'm sure those things tend to drop at the end of the season, maybe, as you're playing less meaningful games. But so maybe they'll be lower. But if they're that high now, they'll finish in the top 10, I'm sure, or something like that. But it is pretty amazing. I mean, listen, if the Cavs and Thunder don't get to the finals, nobody's going to remember what they did this year.
Yes.
At least get to the finals.
Well, I mean,
But
will.
we're seeing historically great play right now from both of these teams.
Yeah, I give you that.
It is amazing.
They balling out right now. I'm anxious to see because it looks like they're quite even. Now, if one team comes out and blows the other team out, I want to see what the reaction going to be.
Yeah.
Because
Cavs haven't been blown out.
You know what they're going to say?
What?
It's a regular season game.
That's why. See, Tyvis, that be messing me up.
That's what they're going to say.
They be like, come on, Jimmy, you got to get excited for it. But if they really come out here, like if the Cavs come out and smoke them, and I come on here and do my victory laps, they're like, it's just regular season.
They're gonna say, you know what? We'll see again next week.
Our fans won't say that. Now, if the Cavs got blown out, which I don't think they will, but if they did, our fans would say, "Oh, it's regular season."
They'll say next week we'll see what happens.
Right. We got
they play each other next week.
Right.
That's right.
But big picture, we'll dive into the things in a sec. We have the best offense versus the best defense. We have a giant team in the Cavs versus a team that plays one guy over 6'5", the Thunder.
And we know that the Cavs, the little struggles they've had have been against big teams, not teams like this. So it is interesting. And
it could be a favorable matchup for the Cavs in that extent. They also have to guard much smaller guys, which Mobley and Jared Allen are accustomed to doing. It's the best team in the East, the best team in the West. It is the two best shooting guards in basketball right now. Yep. Anthony Edwards is in that conversation, but he's having a down season. And this is exactly what you could hope for.
I think Evan Mobley
televised game.
I think Evan Mobley is lined up for a big game.
Man, heck yeah! Like, see, that's another thing too. When they want to play the death ball lineup, but the difference between what the Cavs is bringing to the table, they got bigs that can switch off all that. You're not gonna if you get Jared Allen on a pick and roll and switch. Yeah, as a guard, you got the advantage, but not crazy. Like, and especially if you got another rim protector down there that can help him out and recover. So, like, I look at it like this, man. If you want to play 6'5" guys, we got 7-footers that's going to move. And now I'm just going to listen, I'm wearing them out with Evan Mobley. Yeah. I'm going to find a mismatch every time.
I can tell you that we're going to do this a little more in depth tomorrow, but Jalen Williams is going to guard Evan Mobley a ton. And that could be the determining factor on how well Mobley can attack the smaller Jalen Williams, who, despite giving up 6-7 inches in the matchup, does a really, 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 really good job guarding bigger defenders.